Imagine a Tuesday in spring, 66 million years ago. The air is warm, thick, and sweet. Giants roam the coastline. A herd of Alamosaurus feeds, entirely unaware that their history is ending. But the jungle suddenly falls silent. The insects stop buzzing. Every living thing senses a shift. Above the canopy, a star appears where no star should be. It grows brighter every second. It is not a star. It is a rock larger than Mount Everest, piercing the atmosphere. It hits the shallow sea with the force of 100 million nuclear weapons. In a fraction of a second, the crust is punctured. Earth's geology is turned into liquid. Debris is thrown halfway to the moon. The sky itself is ripped open by the violence. Thermal radiation travels at light speed. The forest ignites before the sound even arrives. Thousands of miles away, the tyrant lizard king looks up. He does not know he is already a ghost. The impact displaces the ocean. A mega tsunami, taller than skyscrapers, races toward the continents. The reign of the dinosaurs is over, but to understand the death, we must understand the life. Let us rewind the clock. Let us look at the world that was lost. This is the late Cretaceous, a planet with no ice caps, a greenhouse world. A massive shallow ocean, the Western Interior Seaway, splits North America right down the middle. Kansas is not a prairie, but a tropical reef. These shallow waters are factories of life. Even the South Pole is green. Antarctica is covered in dense, temperate rainforests. Carbon dioxide levels are high. The atmosphere acts like a heavy blanket, trapping the sun's heat. Global temperatures are significantly higher than today. There is no winter here, only endless summer. Heat means energy. Storms in the Cretaceous are violent, frequent, and massive. This supercharged climate fuels the flora. Plants grow fast, providing endless fuel for the giants. The air is rich. It supports metabolisms that would be impossible in our modern, thinner atmosphere. This is the Hell Creek Formation, a floodplain of mud and rivers, teeming with biological potential. These forests have stood for millions of years. They seem eternal, indestructible. The Earth records its history in layers. For millions of years, the story has been consistent. But geology is not static. The board is set. The pieces are moving. In India, the Deccan traps are erupting, poisoning the air. The ecosystem is already stressed. Life is resilient. It adapts to the slow changes, but it cannot adapt to the sudden. The Yucatan Shelf is composed of gypsum and limestone. It is a powder keg waiting for a match. And in the dark void of space, the match is already on its way. In this greenhouse world, life has pushed the boundaries of size and power. Meet the tyrant lizard king, 7 tons of muscle, honed by millions of years of evolution. His jaw delivers the strongest bite force of any land animal in history. His prey is the Triceratops, a tank of an animal evolved solely to survive the tyrant. In the skies, Quetzalcoatlus reigns. It is as tall as a giraffe, yet it flies. He relies on the warm, rising thermals of the greenhouse world. Without them, he is grounded. These are not monsters. They are parents. They invest energy and care into their next generation. In the shadows, our ancestors wait, small, nocturnal, and desperate for scraps. It is a complex, towering house of cards, stable as long as the foundation holds. But these giants require massive amounts of food. Their specialized bodies cannot fast for long. The entire system rests on one thing: photosynthesis. The sun feeds the plants feed the giants. If the plants die, the herbivores starve. If the herbivores starve, the kings fall. Evolution has prepared them for teeth and claws. It has not prepared them for the sky falling. The trap is set. The actors are on their marks. The curtain is about to rise. It is the last moment of the Mesozoic era, the very last second of the Old World. The asteroid enters the atmosphere at 45,000 miles per hour, 20 times the speed of a bullet. The air cannot move out of the way fast enough. It compresses into plasma hotter than the sun. Contact. The asteroid passes through the ocean depth in a fraction of a second. It strikes the bedrock. The solid crust of the Earth behaves like water under the impact. A crater 20 miles deep opens in an instant. The planet's mantle is briefly exposed to space. Vaporized rock shoots upwards, punching a hole through the atmosphere and back into the void. A shockwave of compressed air expands outward, flattening everything in its path for 1,000 miles. Trees are not burned yet. They are snapped like matchsticks by the pressure wave alone. The Earth rebounds. Mountains of molten granite rise and fall like droplets in a pond. Billions of tons of rock are now in orbit. But what goes up must come down. On the other side of the world, night has fallen. The dinosaurs look up at a meteor shower. But the shower does not end. The sky fills with trillions of re-entering glass beads. Tektites, molten glass rain. As they re-enter, they heat the atmosphere through friction. The friction turns the sky into a radiator. The global air temperature spikes to 500 degrees. It is a pizza oven effect. The world does not burn from contact. It burns from the air itself. There is no escape. The heat is everywhere. The mighty T-Rex is cooked alive in the open air. Forests across the globe ignite simultaneously. 70% of the world's forests burn in one day. The smoke from the fires joins the dust from the impact. The sun is blotted out. Only those who can go underground survive. The meek inherit the earth because the meek can hide. The fires eventually die, but the heat is replaced by something worse: the cold. The dust and soot block the sun. Photosynthesis stops. The food chain collapses. The silence returns, but it is not the peace of the morning. It is the silence of the grave. An impact winter begins. Temperatures plummet. The tropical paradise becomes a frozen wasteland. In the oceans, the plankton die without light. The marine ecosystem starves from the bottom up. Life hangs by a thread. For months, the earth is a dark, cold tomb. But the dust eventually settles. The sun returns. The stage is reset. The first to return are the ferns. They thrive in disaster. The planet breathes again. The non-avian dinosaurs are gone, but their cousins, the birds, survived the cataclysm. And the mammals emerge. With the giants gone, the world is now theirs to conquer. In the absence of monsters, we were allowed to grow. We are the children of the asteroid. Today, the scar remains. A ring of sacred sinkholes in the Yucatan jungle outlines the crater. And in the rock, a thin line of iridium, the tombstone of an era. We gaze at their bones with wonder, but we should gaze with gratitude. Their bad luck was our beginning. The earth changes, and life must change with it. This is the story of our planet. The only constant is change. The fire is gone, but the water turns against life. Nitric acid rains from the sky. The oceans acidify. The shells of marine life dissolve. The food web dissolves with them. The colorful reefs of the Cretaceous are wiped clean. The oceans become a silent, gray grave. On land, without sunlight, plants die. But one kingdom thrives in the dark: fungi. For a brief moment in history, the Earth stops being a planet of plants. It becomes a planet of mushrooms. This fungal spike is the salvation of our ancestors. They eat the decay that killed the dinosaurs. Years pass. The dust settles. The sun, the engine of life, finally restarts. The recovery begins with the fern spike. Fast-growing ferns colonize the empty continents. The complex jungle is gone. In its place, a simple green blanket heals the scars. With the dinosaurs gone, the world is empty. Evolution abhors a vacuum. Mammals explode in size. In just a few million years, they grow from shrews to cows. They are experimental shapes. Nature is testing new designs to see what works. But the dinosaurs are not entirely gone. The birds grow massive, reclaiming the role of apex predator. Terror birds rule briefly, but the mammals are smarter, faster, and more adaptable. High in the trees, a small group of survivors begins to develop grasping hands and stereoscopic vision. They are learning to manipulate the world, a skill that will one day change the planet again. The Earth continues to move. India slams into Asia. The Himalayas rise. The climate warms again. The Paleocene-Eocene thermal maximum. The jungles return to the poles. And then, a new invention: grass. The forests recede, creating the stage for the modern world. Travel to the Yucatan today. The surface looks peaceful, masking the violence below. Divers explore the cenotes. These flooded caves exist only because the limestone was fractured by the impact. Mapped from space, they form a perfect semicircle, the bullseye of the apocalypse. Geologists read the drill cores. They tell a story of a day when the world ended. Look at our world, our cities, our technology, our dominance. We exist only because of a cosmic accident, a roll of the dice in the dark. If the rock had arrived 30 minutes later, the planet would have rotated. It would have hit the deep Atlantic. The water would have absorbed the explosion, no firestorm. The dinosaurs would still be here, and we would be tiny shrews, hiding in the dark. Geology is destiny. The rocks beneath our feet determine the life above the surface. We walk on the bones of giants. We breathe the air they left behind. The Earth is not a passive stage. It is a main character, violent, unpredictable, and creative. Life is fragile. It has been nearly extinguished 5 times. We often forget that we live on a planet that can change its mind in an instant. Chicxulub is a warning. It reminds us that dominance is temporary. We watch the skies now. We scan for the next rock. We have learned the lesson. But for now, the Earth is calm. The stage is ours. We are the lucky ones, the survivors of the greatest lottery in history. Terra Chronos, the time of the Earth. The Alamosaurus, a living tank. Proof that defense was just as evolved as offense. Thick skulls for ritual combat. Evolution spent millions of years perfecting these contests. The danger was not just on land. The mosasaurs were the T-Rex of the deep. The Troodon, large brains, grasping hands. Some say they were getting smarter. Flowers were the new invention. They seduced insects, changing the color of the planet. A partnership began here. Bees and flowers. A love affair that still feeds us today. The crocodile watches. He has seen eras rise and fall. He refuses to change. The shark patrols the deep. Perfect design needs no update. Water cycling through the ecosystem, the blood of the planet. The energy in this system was immense, but energy is volatile. The shadow of death. It moved silently through the solar system for eons. Nudged by Jupiter's gravity, a slight push that sealed the fate of Earth. It wasn't a solid rock, but a rubble pile, a flying mountain of gravel. For the worm, the world shook, but the walls held. The underground was the only safe haven. Seeds are time capsules. They can wait. They waited for the sun. Rain cleans the wounds. Slowly, the black earth turned gray, then brown. Geography is rewritten. Rivers find new courses over the bones of the dead. The atmosphere stabilized. The greenhouse returned, but the tenants had changed. We burn their forests today. Coal is the fossilized energy of the Cretaceous. We are releasing the ghosts of that era back into the atmosphere. We are creating a new greenhouse. We are repeating the cycle. But we have a choice. We can adapt before the catastrophe. We are the first species that can decide its own future. A pale blue dot, fragile, alone. The universe does not care. It is up to us to care.